You do get a truck out of that for free, pretty much. And I honestly think if I had that from the beginning of the game... which location am I at? I didn't pay attention. I'm at White Valley. I don't want to be at White Valley. Seems like it's defaulting to White Valley when I retain. Not really what I wanted it to do. It didn't really matter, but... Wait, didn't I retain it? Ah. I don't think I did. I thought I did, but then I forgot. Alright, guys. There we go. Trying to do things too quickly. Okay, truck storage. There we go. What time is it? It's getting there. Alright, so this is going to be kind of a comparison. So we've got multiple comparisons here. Speed, overall functionality, handling. But I think these two trucks are very comparable. Looks like the Kodiak is slightly larger because on that Russian truck, the bed hangs off the back significantly. And I have more of a concern with that truck of it flipping, which is one of the reasons why I wasn't so sure I was keen on it. But here's going to be a test. So that Russian truck just kind of glided over this bit of snow without really getting stuck. Seems like the Kodiak does the same. So that's good. So the lightweight nature of this truck is pretty comparable to that other one. So you'll be able to glide over snow rather than get bogged down like you would in heavier trucks. I ended up selling this thing, and honestly, I think that was a mistake. It doesn't have the power or the speed. I think that I'm noticing for sure. But this truck might be slightly heavier. Hard to say. For what we're doing, just kind of ferrying parts around, I think we'll do it pretty good here. Now, if we take something heavy, it wouldn't really be a fair comparison, because the service spare parts are pretty light. And unfortunately, I don't think any of these other parts that we have to get... You know what? I should have checked on this map to see if there's anything on this map for this quest. I don't think so. Oh, I'm wrong. We can get something from there. Figure we might as well. Oh, there's some more stuff over on that side. Well, this is kind of close to where we need to go anyway. Because we need to go to Mountain River, not White Valley. So, yeah. Seems fine. I just have to remember to turn off. I'm also curious to like try out some of the highway trucks to see how capable they would be. I mean, the GMC counts as one of those. And it does all right as long as you don't ask too much of it off-road. I think the thing that the GMC really has in its favor is it comes with a fairly powerful engine for the size truck that it is. So it's got good power. And I think that kind of redeems it, which is why I have never really sold it. It's also got really good utility for the add-ons you can do. So I'm curious, I kind of avoided the highway trucks. I said I tried out all the American trucks. That's actually partially not true. I did have the one international, what is it called? I don't know, the international oh, I'm going the wrong way. I'm going the way I need to go to eventually get there, but I need to pick up the cargo first. Oh, I don't need all-wheel drive either. Yeah, maybe that's what we'll do after I'm done with the Kodiak here. Yeah, maybe that's what we'll spend a lot of the rest of the stream doing, is just trying out like the highway trucks and see how viable they are for a late game, because I have all the upgrades now. I think a great example would be the Ford, because the Ford you have to buy. If you want the Ford, you got to buy it. So I'll see, like, I'll evaluate it and I'll ask the question, why would you buy it? We'll see what all it can do. Because with the GMC, you can't get... so they were getting metal beams here. That's fine. It's on the way. Let's do it. We're just gonna pick away at this quest and have fun trying out trucks. I think that's pretty much how I'm gonna handle this. And I think this is going to be a good evaluation of this truck with a heavier item in the back. How does it handle? Yeah, still seems like it glides over stuff pretty well. I don't know if this mud is all that bad to really be a good evaluation, but... And I think that this quest is fair for those highway trucks, because I can do this quest without really going off-road too much. Bouncy, bouncy. That Russian truck has a problem with bouncy, bouncy too, so... Yeah, these trucks are very comparable and their capabilities. Alright, we don't need all-wheel drive yet. What this has going for it is I think it's less flip prone. A little bit more stable. Has a slightly larger fuel tank, but possibly slightly worse fuel consumption, so that probably equals out. Alright. Yeah, I'll probably hold on to the Kodiak. It seems to be doing the job fairly well. You got the cool paint scheme, I guess. And it's not a bad truck by any means. Being able to glide over the snow like we saw is a good utility to have. I'll probably just stick it on this map too. Alright. I think we'll drop off first and then go get fuel. And then we'll stick this truck somewhere and we'll look at the highway trucks. I might start with the international highway truck that you can get. If I remember correctly, you get it fairly early on too, just to see how it does. So this is where we need to turn. I guess I'm strong with the force because that sign got broken just by me driving within 10 yards of it. Alright. That's one of the beams we need. Alright, come on. Reverse. Let's just turn around rather than play around with this. I think you can't go wrong with either of the trucks we just looked at, though. Both have similar capability and both get the job done fairly well. I'm gonna stick it a little off the side here so it's not in the way in case we need to get fuel to somebody else. All right, let's go back to Northport. And we're gonna get ourselves one of the highway trucks. Okay. So, the one I definitely have not looked at is this Ford. Haven't touched it. So, I don't know what to expect, but it doesn't have all-wheel drive, and it doesn't have diff lock, and there's no way of having it. So, that's kind of why I've avoided it. And then the one you can get... I wonder, is there an icon for a highway truck? Yeah, there is. Okay, so the GMC is the one that you start with. And it's diff lock capable, which really does help, and it comes with a decent engine. But the other two highway trucks do not have that capability. I'm going to start with the International Transstar, because you can get this one, I think even on the first map. And I just want to show off, like, how does this truck do when you have every upgrade you can have for it? Don't think it's going to do all that well, but, we'll try it nonetheless. Alright, so engine choices. Okay, so I have an engine, but I guess this is the only truck that can use it. So, we'll use that. Sell the old one. Gearbox, we'll keep. No ways to raise the suspension. We're going to go ahead and use the chained tires, all chains, not just rear chains. So that should give us the best traction. I'm not going to do anything with the winch. Frame add-on. I'm just going to grab a flatbed. Snorkel. Yeah, we'll get one, even though it probably won't be necessary for what we're doing. It looks really funky, though. Okay, let's look at paint. So I'll look at the special paints. So we got red and white. That looks okay. Brown and tan looks poo. Green and white. Oh, so you got two different variants. Reverse poo of each other. I mean, the tan's slightly different color, but and then a blue and gray. We'll go with the poo. What looks more poo-like? We'll go with that. Okay, we'll give it the... Okay, so no possibility of lights, which I don't like. I don't like that. Front bumper. You can get extra lights with the front bumper, but we're not going to bother. Yeah, I'm really not liking this vehicle too much. No real option there either. Okay. Let's leave the garage and see how it does. Oh, you know what? We should take a peek. Is there anything on this map we'd want to get? There are things over here, but I think it's probably a waste of my time to go over there. We might pick up our last metal beam. Okay, let's go. So, fuel consumption so far is okay-ish, but we're not really asking a lot of it. It's kind of weird looking at this truck, how low to the ground it is and everything. It's not that big of a vehicle either. Considering how cheap it is, though. Alright, this is our test. I have no way to make our performance any better other than just put it in low range. And this shows you how a truck struggles to get through here. Remember, the Kodiak just glided through here and didn't really slow down. This truck, on the other hand, not so much. Now, I'll point out, a lot of trucks do get bogged down on this snow. But it definitely does not share that lightweight, just being able to skip over snow ability that the Kodiak and that other Russian truck had. We will have a little bit of off-road as well. Try this thing out on. Which I suspect it will not do too well. It handles the highway part very well, but hey, it's a highway truck. It's supposed to do that. Yeah, we just keep going. Been a little while since I've been on this map, so I used to know it really well because I spent a lot of time here. Alright, I'm curious how much suspension damage we get here. There's a low down. It didn't get any damage. You never really can tell with rocks, though. It seems to have good speed and power. At least for its element. We'll see how it does when it's loaded up. But I suspect it will do well in that regard, as long as you keep it on decent roads, like we're doing. So this is probably not a bad truck for Alaska, as long as you keep in mind that you really should just only be keeping it on the roads. I would even consider maybe giving this the highway gearbox, rather than... I think I'm going the right way, yeah. Yeah, fuel consumption is not bad at all. And the highway gearbox would just improve that. And it'll give you better top speed on the roads. I don't know if that's a good thing in Alaska, though, because even with chains, you might have a problem with slipping and sliding. All right. So now we're going to start having a little bit more tests for this thing. And these aren't really even severe tests. I think these are fair tests. Just a little bit of going through water, which we have the snorkel, we should be fine. Just the question is, how well do we get over here? Now, this riverbed is hard, so we're not really having to worry about mud here. It's just a matter of getting through the water and all that, which it did fine. It was a little on the slow side, but okay. Let's go through the... Now, this is the off-road section. Again, this is not a bad bit of off-road, but it'll give us a little bit of an idea how it does. Yeah, a road like this, I think, is within its capabilities. Just don't push it beyond that. We might get bogged down in this little bit up here. Okay. A little bit of bog down there, but not bad. Yeah, we didn't ask a lot of it, but it did what we asked of it. I'd say this is an okay truck. I think it would only really do well on the Alaskan map, because every other map, it's going to be hard to get away from having to drive on some not so great roads. Alright, so we can get the metal beams part taken care of, and then it's just the medium and small pipes. I think I'll transition over to the Ford after this delivery. I'm probably just going to sell this thing and replace it with the Ford. Alright, now we have a load. I think it's going to be definitely... I think that was the worst bit of the mud that we just passed, so... Yeah. This is by no means a hard test for it to pass. Because this is not the most demanding roads, but I think this is the kind of road you would expect Or you'd want to keep 2. You wouldn't want to do anything too muddy. Yeah, this is where we're starting to struggle a little bit, but there we go. Nothing too serious. I think the comparison would be do this same trip with the GMC. And I'm pretty sure the GMC would do it better. It has a raised up suspension, it has bigger tires, it's got more power. But this is probably more fuel efficient, so that would be your advantage that you're going for. Alright, let me take a quick tea break here. Alright. I'm curious how the Ford is going to do in comparison. I'm also curious the difference in size. Before I sell this thing, I do want to take a quick peek at what all add-ons it can have, so we know what the limits of its utility are. Because I said the GMC, that was one of the things that was good about it, is it had a decent variety of things that it could carry on the chassis or frame. I think it'd only be fair to take a look at this and see, does it have the utility? Because if it does, then that would raise up a little bit. Alright, let's see if we take damage over these rocks. I'm not even going to try and avoid them. A little bit. That's to be expected. Alright. Go ahead and recover it. And send it to White Valley, of course. Okay, so real quick, just let's see the variety of add-ons you can do. So heavy crane, flatbed, van body, sideboard bed, fuel tank, loading crane, which it can do with the bed. That's a good thing to know. And then just settle high and low. I would say that's not necessarily a great amount of variety. I could show you guys a comparison too, just so you know where I'm coming from. Yeah, we'll just uninstall that. We're gonna install it onto the other truck here in a bit, but yeah. Go ahead and sell this. So retain, truck storage, sell. Okay. Just to give you guys a comparison, let's find where the GMC is. I don't remember where it is. Maybe over here on this map. Yeah, there it is. Let's just compare what we can do with this truck as far as customization options, frame add-ons. So the same heavy crane, flatbed, van body, maintenance frame is different. The seismic vibrator, which you need for specific quests, sideboard bed, fuel tank, loading crane. So really it's just those two that we're missing with the Transtar. Is the vibrator, which again, that's for specific quests, so that's not a super big deal. But just the maintenance frame add-on is the word I'm looking for. Okay. Let's garage and just park this back where it was. And it has that utility because it's just a little bit bigger. Okay. Let's go back into the garage. All right, so we're gonna buy the Ford now. So this one's the priciest of the different ones, the GMC being the cheapest. So let's see how we do. Okay, so first, customization options. We can use another engine that's specific to it. If I'm going to go by the numbers, probably a more powerful engine. So this guy. Gearbox, I'll keep balanced so we have a fair comparison. We do have the ability to raise up the suspension, which I suspect gives us better tires or larger tires. No, it doesn't give us any different capability as far as tires. You would know because some of the bigger tires would be locked off, so not really any difference there. It might give us better clearance, and of course the detriment of this is making it more likely we flip over. I will raise it up though because we can. And we'll sell the stock one. Okay, so I think it's only fair we use the same type of tires, but I will use the biggest size I can, so all chains. We'll keep the stock winch because that's what we had before. Snorkel. Probably doesn't matter, but I'll do this one because it looks interesting. I mean, you get a little bit more height with that, but if your entire cab is underwater, I think you have some problems. Okay, frame add-ons. So heavy crane, flatbed, van body, maintenance frame. So this is similar bed size to the GMC. Sideboard bed, fuel tank, loading crane, saddle high. So exactly the same, except you don't have that seismic vibrator. That's your main difference. All right, well, we'll use the flatbed. And I assume you can use the crane with the flatbed. Yeah, because the other one. This is a bigger truck. Okay, let's take a look at the rooftop. Oh, got a roof fender. Again, no beacons. What's the purpose of this fender? Other than just to look funny. What does it look like on the other side? I mean, we're blocking our intake with this. Maybe it makes it more aerodynamic or something, right? We're not going to install that, though. Front bumper probably gives us some... No extra lighting options whatsoever. Interesting. Okay. Unless there's something on the front side. Not that I see. Alright. Unfortunate. I'm just double checking I'm not missing it in another category. I like flap caps. I like to see those little caps dance around, so we're going to install those just for the fun of it. Doesn't really do anything from a performance standpoint, but I just like the way it looks better. Okay, let's see our paint. So it already comes in a poo brown. Oh, actually, it gets some more maroon. That looks cool. I like the blue. Got a what looks like a brown and an orange to me. Very 70s. And then a red and white. I really like the blue and white. It kind of looks like waves. So we'll go with that. All right, there we have it. Leave the garage and see how this thing does. Yeah, just get to watch those little caps dance up and down. That's why I prefer it. The cab's a little wobbly, but I don't think that really matters. Although it feels like it has a lot of weight when you go to turn it. So again, this one can't have all-wheel drive or locking diffs. Those are kind of weird to look around it because the cab's so tall. Alright, so here's our test. Can it glide over the snow? I suspect no. Nope. That's where it gets slowed down. I would say comparable performance. I have a similar worry that I have with the Pacific P12 we saw earlier, is that there's a lot of distance in between the back tires and the front tire, so the likelihood you bottom out is possibly high. I don't know, I kind of feel like I like the Transtar better so far. This feels really weighty. And although I might have more power, I don't feel like I have the speed. This feels very clumsy on the road. Okay, I'm getting speed. I'm getting the feeling of speed now. Seems like it's doing really well uphill. Yeah. I think that's the power for you, though. We also, I don't think we're in top gear until just now. Fuel consumption. I haven't really been keeping an eye on that. I forget, how big was the fuel tank on the other one? This is 280, which is an alright fuel tank size. Fuel consumption, I would say, is probably slightly heavier than the TranStar. I don't know, just going with my gut, I feel like the TranStar is the better truck. If you had to take highway trucks, I feel like the TranStar is the better truck. It's also cheaper. You lose a little bit of utility because it's smaller. Yeah, I just don't see much reason to buy this one over the TranStar, personally. We might as well just go directly to the Mountain River map, because we don't have anything to easily pick up here. So unfortunately, I don't get to show you that one muddy road and how it performs. There. Maybe we'll get another road to test it out on. I almost feel for like a fair comparison, we should just go down that road just for the sake of it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. Just we're not gonna see how it does with the load back. Well, no, you know what? I'll do a load too. I'll drop the load once we get past the mud, but I need to have this be a fair comparison. So, how does it do over the water? I feel like it got further before it got stopped, but it still got stopped almost dead in its tracks, so I don't know if it matters. It probably just got further because it had more weight behind it. Alright, we're going down this road just for the sake of testing, not because we need to. Alright, so that right there is already making this truck worse, because the TranStar did not get bogged down really much at all on this road. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm starting to lean towards the idea of why would you ever buy this? If all you want is a highway truck that exclusively does stuff on the highway, buy the TranStar. It's better and it's cheaper. This might have a slight edge in hauling something really heavy, but I don't know if it makes up for the fact that it does worse in just about every other regard. Alright, so we're going to pick up the beam just for the sake of going back over that road with the same weight. And see how we do there. Maybe we'll see some better performance in this bit. I might actually need this beam somewhere, but right now we're just doing it for this bit. I might check to see if there's a quest I need the metal beam for. Somewhere on the other map, because we're going there anyway. Let's see how it does with a load. I will say it has a nice paint job. That's a positive I can give it. Yeah, it's doing alright with the load. It almost seems like maybe it's doing better with the load. Maybe it needed that weight on the back tires, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I'm noticing the power more, like, because it's not really being as much of a detriment to the speed. So if power and speed is what you're after, maybe it has a slight edge over the TranStar, but yeah, and we're getting bogged down here. The TranStar didn't really get... Maybe it got bogged down a little bit there, but I don't know. I just feel like this thing's doing much worse. Alright. Yeah, my gut tells me go for the Transtar if you insist on a highway truck. I just don't think there's a strong reason for this truck. I think the GMC is better than it, and like, the one advantage it has over the Transtar is that extra utility of being able to have that maintenance frame add-on. The GMC can do that, and I think the GMC is better in every other respect. So, yeah. The fact that the GMC can have locking differentials also gives it a big leg up on the other highway trucks. Oh, I wanted to check. Is there a quest that needs what I have? So, on this map, there honestly aren't that many left. So, that's a quest. We're kind of in the area, so we could try and do that, but nah. And that's to grab a trailer, so let's see if there's any other quests on this map. That one's on the main Northport. That's on Northport. Okay. What about White Valley? Not the right things. That's White Valley. Wooden planks fuel. That's Northport. It does need a metal beam, but that would be having me go back. Okay, let's take a look at Morrison Mining. This needs a metal beam. Okay, we'll go do that. A little out of the way, but I think one of the things we pick up might be along the way. I know we have a supply over here we can pick up, perhaps, or here, so that's fine. So we need to back up a little bit so we can go across the bridge, but otherwise we're good. You know what? What one is that? Service hub. I've already forgotten which one needed the medium. Oh, it's changing. It's this one. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and lock this in just so. But we'll get back to the quest we're on here in a second. I just want to deliver the metal beams while we have some. Alright, well, that was an evaluation of the highway trucks. The Ford being one I had never used before. But I guess my overall feeling is I'm already on the edge of being like, should I sell the GMC? And if I'm already considering selling that because of its limited utility and it's better than these other two, at least in my mind, I don't know. I don't know if that speaks very highly of the highway class for the American trucks. But I would say, in my consideration, the Alaskan map is where you can get away with it because there are a lot of paved roads. So you don't have to go off-road on this map for a lot of quests. I do like the way this truck looks, though, so if that's why you want to get it. Hey, I mean, that's still a... Because you think a truck is cool, this is a perfectly valid reason to get it. Doesn't have to be the best. All that matters is you think it's cool. Alright. Drop that off. Okay, let's switch back to the quest we were originally on, which is... Okay. Okay, so we need a medium pipe and a small pipe, and we can get one of those, if not both of those, at that location. So, yeah, let's head over there. We will have a little bit of off-road to do that I can't avoid. This was a fun quest, though, I think, to try out something like this. As I'm going to the same location repeatedly. Am I going the right direction? Yeah, I am. So this was a pickup point, but I assume it was just for metal bits. Because that's still blocked, we have to go this way. I don't know how well this truck will handle this bit. Because there is some pretty bad mud that we're about to drive through. But I suspect we'll get stuck very badly in. Go ahead and put it in low range. I would like you to grab over there. Yeah, this is pretty much, without being able to winch, this truck is stuck. Like, if there was no trees around, this truck would be pretty much done. And there's definitely worse mud in this game than that bit. I'm gonna have to put on the handbrake here and grab somewhere else. Give it a little bit of juice. And we should be out of it now. Nope. Okay, maybe if I give it power, yeah, there we go. And that shows you right there one of the problems with not having all-wheel drive. I had no power pulling from the front. So my front tires were on good ground that we could have pulled forward on. And there are plenty of good trucks that don't have all-wheel drive, but... well, there are some. This is not one of them. Because those other trucks usually have something else that helps, like locking differentials. We need medium pipes. Oh, okay, we can get both here. We'll go with the medium pipes first. Load this thing down. I'm not going to go back over that muddy bit, though. We'll go the more easy route for this type of truck. It would have taken a lot less trips if we had taken a trailer with us, but in this case, trying out trucks it was actually good to have that repetition. Do we want to try out if there's I don't know if there's any Russian highway trucks, but should we try one of those out as part of this? Because I have one more trip to make. I'm not sure if there are any highway or Russian trucks, but we could check. I'll just go ahead and drop this off. I'm gonna have to go over to Russia to look at that. Oh no, I don't think there are though, because I did sort by the category, and I'm pretty sure if there are Russian trucks in that category, they would have been on the list. Yeah. Well, I could still try out a Russian truck just for the sake of it. As we did try a Russian truck out at the beginning of this whole evaluation thing. Probably pick one that I feel like is unlikely, like one I would normally not buy, if there is one. Alright, let's go ahead and just recover. I don't care where it recovers to, because I'm just going to sell it immediately, and then we have to head over to Russia to maybe buy a truck there. Okay, so we retain, truck storage, sell. Yes, okay. Let's head over to Russia. And we'll take a look at the store, see what kind of trucks there are. And again, I'm going to aim for a truck I normally would not buy, because it just doesn't sound good. So off-road, off-road. This is the truck. I said Don 17, it's actually a Don 71. Yeah, this scout vehicle I didn't really like too much. But just be sure. Yeah, there are no Russian highway trucks. This is the one you get for the DLC. It's fairly capable. It comes with mud tires from default, and as a result, that gives you a lot of capability if you start with this truck from the beginning of the game. I'm actually glad I didn't have this early in the game, because I feel like it would have spoiled me. I tried out the Con. It was alright. It struggled in the heavy mud of Russia, but a lot of vehicles struggle. I would say it's probably comparable to maybe the Scout 800. Different body shape and stuff though, so it's hard to draw a comparison. Heavy. Nah. I could conceive of me buying this, so we're aiming for a truck I wouldn't normally buy. TUZ 166, pretty good. This is really good for off-roading and stuff, but it's really big, and I don't think it can take trailers. It's possible this guy can't take trailers too, but maybe having a spare wheel in the back is the reason why it couldn't. I have to test that. But this guy, as far as I know, cannot take trailers, which really drops the utility. It makes it purely a scout vehicle. You can have repair supplies, but other than that, you're just scouting, and I've kind of already done a lot of that, so... yeah, another off-road truck, off-road truck. Like, what I'm looking for is a truck that doesn't have all-wheel drive or a diff lock, like one or the other. And it doesn't look like that truck exists, unless it's one that I just haven't found yet. Yeah, it seems like all the Russian trucks just are off-roady trucks. Off-road trucks featuring a lighter frame. Yeah. I mean, I get it with the way the Russian territories are, why they would emphasize that. Like, this truck here kind of is described as being somewhat of a highway truck, considering it was originally designed primarily for highway use. And we already got to see that one. But it does have switchable all-wheel drive, and it's diff lock capable, so, you know. Well, I might just buy whatever's cheapest then. I don't know if there's a way to sort by any particular thing, so... whatever truck's cheapest. Now, we've already looked at that one. So, 85,000, 80... This one looks like so far, from what I've seen, 83,000. Definitely not that. Yeah, the 80,000 one is the cheapest. We'll give that one a try. So the Voron D53233. It does have always on both diff lock and all-wheel drive, so this is not going to be a very good comparison. It was designed as a heavy-duty farm truck. It never saw... Okay, it's a prototype. I think I already read this one. Had a comparable appetite for it. Okay, so probably consumes fuel pretty nicely. Alright, we'll purchase this guy. Purchase and deploy. Russian trucks are pretty expensive. Alright, let's see where the customization options are. Alright, so... I guess we might as well just go with the best gear, especially if I can get it for free. We'll sell that and that. Okay. Gearbox. Special off-road, so that it doesn't really have much choices there. We'll raise up... Oh, wait. Before I do that, I always like to check. Okay, so raising up the suspension does give you access to bigger tires. Always good to know that. I'll probably hold on to this one because it probably be a good idea to test it out more in Russia, where it likely would have... Yeah, and see, a lot of the Russian trucks have mud tires where American trucks do not. But we'll go with the chains here. So, you have two different types you can do. I'm going to do this one because you got a wider base because you have the double tires in the back. Oh, yeah, that's what I want. They're the same price, so that's one of these things where I don't know what the difference between these two are because as far as the wheel performance goes, they're the same, but I'm sure statistically they are different. So, I don't know. We'll just keep it with the stock frame add-ons. So let's see how the utility is. So there's going to be some differences with like the cranes and stuff. It can take the maintenance body. So I would say very similar to the GMC as far as that capability goes. Snorkel. For me, appearance really does matter with the snorkels. Like how you have dual ones here. These look terrible to me. I don't really like them. I'm going to go with this one. It's going to give us the best capability without looking like garbage. Okay. Now, this stuff doesn't really matter to me. Does matter to me, yes. It can take roof. Gives us better capabilities at night. I have to level up for that. Not too concerned about that kind of stuff. Rims. They honestly look about the same to me. I'll go with that one, though. Alright, paint. The default paint is green, yellow, orange. Blue, white, and a lighter blue. I kind of like that one. It'll look nice in Alaska. Let's go with the white, orange, black. Okay. We'll retain it. And then hop back over to Alaska in Northport. Probably not going to do the same trip because this truck is not going to be comparable at all. It's also way more expensive, so not really a fair comparison either. Let's see how it does. Oh yeah, that fuel consumption. Now there's no way to turn off the all-wheel drive, which will hurt quite a bit. Fuel tank is smaller than the Ford's. Which is concerning considering its fuel consumption. Alright, I'm just going to go directly to the quest here. But this is going to be our bit where we get to see the comparison of how this does on the snow. Both of the highway trucks got bogged down here. And we slowed down because of a gear change, but otherwise, we're fine. I am noticing that this gearbox only has 4 speeds, and it does have the extra low range, so this is more or less just an off-road gearbox, which is probably why the fuel consumption is so bad. Seems like it has good power and speed. So far, this truck seems really capable. It makes very odd noises when it changes gears. It's somewhat disconcerting. Is that during a gear change or not? Or is that just the cab squeaking? I want to hear the gear change sound. No, that's not the gear change. I don't know what that sound is. Definitely has this weird squeaky noise. Yeah, there it is again. It does seem like to me, for what this type of game is, the Russian trucks are generally better. This thing is fast enough on these roads that I am having to worry about going too fast. Because even with the change, this thing does slide around a little bit. Yeah, but after this quest, I'm probably just going to take this to Russia. It seems pretty good. Now the question is it better than the truck you get for free in Russia? Because that truck's really good. Alright, let's see how it does here. Didn't get slowed down at all. I knew there were trucks that could do that. Take that in one stride without slowing down. And there's proof of it. I guess I should be more specific. It definitely slowed down, but what I mean is almost dead stopping. Okay. I forgot to put a bet on it. Okay. Yeah, I'm starting to make mistakes and stuff. Let's just do this quest with this truck. I totally forgot to put a bet on that truck. I don't know. I was so focused on what add-ons it could have, I forgot to actually put one on. Yeah, so we need to come up here. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I'm starting to get to that point where I'm getting tired, so the mistakes are starting to fly loose and heavy. But the rest of this quest is not that far away, so let's just get her done. I can't believe it took me that long to realize I didn't have a bet on it. Again, I'll blame the dark. Alright, we need the small pipes this time. Yeah, fortunately, I had the Kodiak just sitting there ready to do the quest in case we needed it. And in this case, we needed it. We still got to try it out and see some things about it. The fact that I could go through that water in one stride, I think, was a good indicator. Or the fact that, despite it being a heavier truck, it could make it through that snow without having to really slow down or get bogged down to the point that it's almost stopping to change gears. We're going to change gears soon, I think. There's no way for you to control the gear changes in this game, in case you were wondering. At least not that I'm aware of. Other than just changing it out of auto into low or something like that, but yeah, if you're going uphill in 5th gear and you're really struggling, there's not really a way for it to be kicked down into a lower gear until it really just entirely loses steam, and then the game will do that automatically. Okay. Quest done. Stop. Stop. Oh, there it is. He who owns the oil turns the world, am I right? Here's your pay. That was actually a lot of experience. How we doing? Okay. We still have a few quests maybe to go for the next level up, which will unlock another truck for us in the American region to try out. For now, let me just put things in a state where we're going to wrap up here. I'll just stick this guy off on this turnoff, as I don't really need this turnoff anymore. Nice place to leave things. I'm gonna grab the Russian truck, recover it, and then I'll stick it in storage. Probably send it over to Russia at some point. And that will probably do it. So